Hello, my little piggies. Welcome back to I Am a Bit of an Expert, a Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and joining me is the other host, Matt Frost. Hey, mate.
Good evening, Josh. How are you?
Very good, very good. You're just giving away that it's the evening. This isn't our day jobs, believe it or not. So we do record these in the evening.
Well, as soon as we break China, that's it. I'm throwing a job.
When we're rolling in yen.
Yeah, we're pin-up boys for the Chinese counterculture. Yeah,
We can finally, retire and get our own little red car like Daddy Pig, a red convertible.
with or without seatbelt.
Yeah, that's right. So we've had two cracking episodes the last couple of times here, but this week we've got Piggy in the Middle, and it's a lot more of a smaller story, would you say?
Yeah. We've dropped back to the packet a little bit here, I think.
And what happens in this one, mate?
Well, basically, George and Pepper are playing with the ball, and Pepper's getting a bit frustrated, trying to teach George how to catch. And Mummy Pig helps them by teaching them a game called Piggy in the Middle. And then George learns how to catch, and then Daddy comes out, and they all throw the ball around. And yeah,
And that's about it, really, isn't it?
that is a bad thing.
There
Light.
isn't much. Very light. Now, is this the first pig pun in a title?
Yes, yeah. It's probably a bit odd, isn't it? Like Piggy in the Middle. They should have called it Human in the Middle.
Yeah, well, do they take offence to that Piggy in the Middle? They're a bit like, hey, man, they're all sort of, they're all kind of making fun of us. And we can't embrace this slander.
Well, only a piggy can call another piggy. So
Well, that's their word, not ours, isn't it?
that is absolutely right.
Now, we touched on this a few episodes back with Hide and Seek, but this is probably even more evident than before that Pepper's a bit of a dick in this at the start.
Yeah. And I'm probably revealing too much about my family, but it just seems like fairly common behaviour.
And see, I've only got one child, so I've got number 2 coming in at the end of the year. So in about 2 years' time, when we're still doing this, and we're only up to season, we're still on season 1.
Yeah.
And I'll be going, now that I've got 2 kids, the whole dynamic has changed, and now all they do is, because we've just got one, so we just have to wrangle the one child. But
Yeah.
all of the 2-child dynamics that you live through, I'll understand a lot more.
Yeah, well, we've got the third child dynamic too, because I have well, technically a Steve, but I have my daughter Kiara, who's a teenager as well. So and that has its
Best
own.
of both worlds.
Well, look, yeah, it never quite plays out quite the way you think it is, but yeah, sometimes the little piggies get a bit frustrated when they get locked out of the biggest piggy room, and yeah, there's a few more dynamics there, but mostly we're a very happy family.
Well, luckily they're not teenagers in this. I think we touched on that once. It's a bit like The Simpsons. They all stay the same age. It's we don't have to worry about them getting older every year like some sort of sitcom.
I think we established that's for the best too, because it didn't really go to a good place, did it?
No. So Pepper's kind of teasing George about not being able to grab the ball, and understandably not too impressed. But he doesn't actually lose it. He doesn't actually cry in this one.
Yeah, he does. He cracks it right at the end.
He cracks it right at the end. Sorry, my mistake. I was sort of looking for the moment.
But she's really sort of like walking up and going, take it, and then taking away from him. So it's like, and I think it's probably answered a question that you asked earlier on in the pod when you said, is George a bit of a sook? I'd say no, he's not, because he puts up with a fair bit in this episode.
He does. He keeps it together pretty well.
And he doesn't crack it till right at the end. So.
And Pepper actually does a little move that my daughter does, I've seen now and then, which is the stomp on the ground, the angry the angry 1 foot stomp, not getting my way.
Yeah,
I've seen before. And I do not blame Pepper for that, because she was definitely doing that, on her own accord.
my daughter does my middle daughter, my 5-year-old Thariah, she does the arms tight by the side, fists clenched, like head down, looking at you, sort of like the Exorcist sort of thing. That really it's a bit hard to describe audio, but yeah, she's got that. She does that one, which is a very common thing you see in cartoons.
Yeah, they're all pretty familiar moves. So, essentially, the Mummy Pig comes in, teaches them this piggy in the middle game to throw the ball over their heads. And then there's this frankly bizarre little sequence where George slides between Mummy Pig's legs with the ball underneath, and she kind of goes, "Woo!"
Yeah, he can't. For those of you that haven't yet seen the episode, I assume everyone's watching along with us.
Yes. Why wouldn't you?
Why on earth wouldn't you? Yeah, George is too small to throw the ball over Mummy Pig to Pepper, so he admirably sort of thinks sideways and crawls between her legs to throw it to Pepper. So.
And then Pepper decides to have a crack at it, and she gets stuck.
She does. Yeah. It's probably the funniest moment of the episode.
And there's a weird. She pulls this weird sort of awkward face, and Mummy Pig doesn't seem too upset about it. But yeah, Pepper's got this very weird expression on her face that she realizes she's sort of stuck like Winnie the Pooh in the log or something like that.
Yeah, and we sort of see it a little bit in our kids when the bigger one, Thariah realizes she's too big to do some things now. Like whereas normally it's the little one being frustrated that she can't do everything the one wants to do. But yeah, luckily 5's still small enough that you can do most things with them. Like I can't very well pick up our 17-year-old and carry her around on my shoulders that easily. But
I'm just glad that my 3-year-old, we kept her in a cot for quite a long time just because she didn't get out, and it was quite convenient. But I just wrecked my back lifting her in and out of it. So now she's in a big girl bed. All of a sudden, my back is better than it's been in years because she's so heavy now.
Have you got one of those little toddler beds? Or?
Oh, she's got it's like a proper single
full size.
Yeah, but it's got a rail on the side. So,
yeah.
But she hasn't. She didn't even look like she was falling out of it. So, it was just more of a precaution more than anything else. But yeah, we probably left her in there too long. But she never climbed out or was just quite happy to be there. So we just were like, all right, well, it's not like she's about to go to school or anything. So we'll just keep her there till further notice. But eventually we thought, we wanted to get her in a bed before the other baby came, get that sort of all sorted out rather than trying to have too much going on.
Yeah, we've got our piggies in a bunk like Pepper and George. But yeah, the Thariah ends up in bed with our teenager, and the little one ends up in our bed most nights. So.
Oh goodness!
Who am I kidding? Every night. So yeah.
She's never gone for that. Olive, her daughter, never has enjoyed sleeping with us at all. We've never had that problem ever, which has been, I think, a bit of a blessing. Like even when she was really, really little, we tried to get her to sleep. When she wouldn't sleep with us, she wouldn't have it, and she's just never had any interest. So it's been quite handy. I think she's probably now. She wouldn't bother now, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm thinking, our kids are going to be teenagers and still sleeping in their bed. Sometimes you're right in the middle of the tunnel and you can't see light at either end. But we went camping with them just recently, and they were on either side of us in the tent, and they both still ended up in the bed with us. So yeah. And Beanie, our littlest, our 2-year-old, our little George, she got a bit of a hair fetish. She likes just touching hair, but she'll just gradually get a big handful of it and then just tug it. So I've cut my hair short, but Karina still cops it. terribly. Like, you know,
You had to get rid of those long flowing locks.
yeah, but my beautiful curls have gone.
So I think this just shows how much was going on in this episode now that we've resorted to talking about our own families.
Well,
There wasn't much on. We'd hit two really good, strong episodes with a lot to go on, but this one is another one as those fillers, as you say, wasn't it? Let's be frank.
oh yeah, look, we're always going to call it as we see it here. I'm a bit of an expert, and this was middling at best.
That's right. But that's okay. You know, we can't win them all, so I don't think there's any other real closing thoughts here. Daddy Pig kind of comes in at the end and helps out with the game, and they all have a bit of a laugh and a play, and everything's all right, really. So,
We get reminded by the narrator that everybody likes playing here in the middle, or yeah,
that might be one of the first times they do that too. I think I'll have to check.
yeah. We've had the everybody likes playing in muddy puddles, but that one's a. Yeah. I think on a future episode we'll have to talk about the narrator a bit more because does a very good job.
He does. He's the glue that holds the whole thing together. That can, means you can churn out pretty quick if you've got somebody who can explain what's going on as well. It certainly doesn't hurt. But we are going to be moving on our next episode, which I think will be Daddy Loses His Glasses. But if you want to follow us on the socials, we're at That Peppa Pig Pod on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those good places. You can leave us a review on iTunes. And thanks again, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, George. And
I am George. Oh dear.
I'm really trying to assert my Pepper dominance over you, aren't I?
Yeah, I better stop your feet over there.
Just a closing thought. We're still trying to work out who Dilby Glypop is. So,
If you know, buzz in. We haven't heard anything yet.
That's right.
All suggestions are welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
my
Thanks,
detective skills are severely lacking.
I know. You're just like Detective Pepper. You need some help.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, piggies.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo.